Okay, today we're going to assemble a Z150. Here's a few tools that you will need. A pair of scissors just to cut some wrapping off and some tie wraps. And very important, a tire gauge that goes up to at least 50 psi. It's very important that the tires get inflated prior to riding. This is how the unit comes in a box. You simply open the box up, review the contents. Here's very simple instructions. It comes with all of the tools required to assemble the unit. We're basically going to be using the bigger wrench in here. It's a 5mm Allen key. We'll just set this to the side. The unit comes right up out of the box. You can just lay it on its side. It's good to have a soft surface to avoid scratching. And that is all of the contents that come in the box. Here we have the left and right pedal arms. There's a sticker right on it that says right side, so obviously this one is the left side. Here's the unit itself. There's very little assembly required. Just take your scissors and carefully cut the tie wraps. Unfold the handlebars. Be careful not to crease or kink the brake cable. And just carefully remove the packing material. And gently pull the cardboard off the front pivot hinge. It's very important you inflate the tires, both front and back, to 50 psi. There's a tag on all the rims, and it does say inflate to 50 psi. Now we can come over to the instructions. Just simply open the bag up with 3 wrenches. Today we're just going to use the 5mm wrench. The other wrenches are required for additional adjustments in the future. So here's the unit as it sits. Here's the left and right pedal arm. And basically the easiest thing to do is to start with this stuff. It comes with 3 wrenches. Today we're just going to use the 5mm wrench. The other wrenches are required for additional adjustments in the future. Okay, so here we have the unassembled unit, and the first thing you want to do is carefully take the handlebars and the handlebar tube and raise it into the upright position. On the 150 model, the option is to fold it down for easy storage or transportation. So you basically come over, you open up the clamp. In the open position, it must be loose, and you just simply slide the fork tube down over the steering tube. Next, you'll clamp it. It must be pretty tight. If it's not tight, you just simply tighten the nut on the opposite side. Next, you want to come up and look at the neck assembly. Sometimes the neck may be shipped in a different position. You just simply loosen the screws. It may be shipped in this position here. So you will loosen the screws, turn it in the forward position, and standing up, just align it with the front tire facing the same direction. Simply tighten the screws again. Rotate top to bottom as you're tightening. You just want to tighten it just so you start to feel the wrench bend a little bit. You don't want to over tighten it. And we're going to move over to the clamp. And we're going to take the screws completely out. Okay. Remove the clamp. And position the handlebars so that the cable is in the front of the tube. And everything is aligned to where you want it to be. Some people like it a little more forward, some people like it a little bit more back. We're going to put it in the center. Simply place the tube. Cut, Michelle, go back. Okay, we're going to line the handlebars where you're most comfortable. We're going to place the clamp and hand thread the screws to get them started. And take your wrench. And just like the neck bolts, we're going to rotate top to bottom. And again, you're just going to tighten it so you feel the Allen key bend slightly. Okay. Here we have the brake lever. When you squeeze the brake lever, you don't want it to touch the grip. You want it to stop about where it is. If it does touch the grip, you just simply turn the screw out so it comes into adjustment, and then tighten the lock nut. Now the brake is properly adjusted. Okay, now we're going to put the pedal arms on. Just lay the bike back down on its side. Come over and take your 5mm wrench and take the bolt off the side of the hinge. In case your bolt falls apart, these are the components. There's a plastic washer and the bolt. Put those to the side. There's a plastic cover over a pre-lubricated pin. So this is the right side of the bike. We're going to take the right pedal. We're going to line up the pedal with the pin. It's important not to try and push it on an angle because you will damage the bushings. So simply line that up, push it down. Some units might be a little harder than others. Simply just push down and rotate the unit. Then we'll take our bolt with our washer. Just tighten it down. Just like the handlebar bolts, tighten this bolt so you can just see the Allen key bend slightly. You don't want to over tighten and strip the screw. Okay? You want to inspect that the pedal arm does move up and down. You will feel resistance. As you can see, it doesn't just swing without any resistance. That is perfectly normal. Okay, so that's the right side. We'll do the same to the left side. Just simply take it off. Remove the cover. We'll take the left pedal and we'll do the same thing. Again, you'll see a slight bend in the Allen key. Just check the pedal. Okay, now we can come back to the rear wheel. Just make sure that it spins freely. Sometimes that the brake from the factory comes it's a little too tight. You just simply loosen this screw on the back cable. Sometimes it may be in this position. And we have an adjustment here and on the handlebar. Just simply turn this down. And that's how the brakes work. Same thing with the set screw. Just tighten it. Lift the unit up and spin it. You may hear the brakes rub a little bit. That noise will go away after a little use. It's just a matter of the brake pads wearing in. What you don't want is for you to spin the tire and it's tight. Okay, we'll come over to the front and again spin the tire. Make sure it spins freely. The units do have a kickstand that must be used. It's important you use the kickstand when you're finished riding so you don't drop the unit and break the handle, either the handlebars or the brake lever. Okay, that's the basic assembly for the Z150. Some neat options about this unit is the telescoping handlebar. You just simply open the clamp and on the back side you press the little button and the handlebar grows. You can drop it down to any position. Make sure that the clamp is just as tight as the lower clamp. With the same type of adjustment, you can just screw it in and out as you need to make it tight. It's very important you do put air in the tires. They don't come pre-inflated and the unit will not roll, as you can see when you push down on it. The tire is not inflated.